How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Infinite Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, to recap the first two games of the three-game set between the Yankees and the Twins. The rubber game is tonight between these two teams. Last time these two teams will face each other this year. Got Luis Gil on the mound for the Yankees, and then going for the Twins is Taj Bradley, who has not won a game since being acquired by the Twins at the trade deadline. But the first game was Monday, and the Yankees offense just didn't show up. Got in very late. Of course, Sunday Night Baseball against the Red Sox in Fenway. They flew in, got in very late. So, and this has happened before, where Yankees have a late game the previous night. They come in very early, and then they're very sluggish. So, and that's kind of like what happened against the Blue Jays at home a couple weeks ago. But yeah, the Yankees only had 2 hits. Carlos Rodon pitched well, got a tough loss there, gave up two runs on the day. How many innings he pitched? He pitched 6 innings, 4 strikeouts. But yeah, the Yankees just could not score. But then Luke Weaver comes in, and he only gets 1 out in his appearance. Only gets 1 out. He got hit hard. 3 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks. And then Camilo Duvall and Tim Hill finished up the game. But Luke Weaver has not been pitching good. The bullpen in general has not been pitching good, and we will talk about that in a second with the second game. But Luke Weaver, in his last 7 games, he's pitching to an ERA of 19.29. In 4 2/3 innings pitched, he's given up 10 earned runs, 13 hits, 3 walks. He has a whip of 3.43. If that was his ERA, that'd be, good, but this is what he's pitching to right now. Last 15 games, it's a 7.53 ERA. Last 30 games, 6.37. At times, Luke Weaver looks like himself, and then other times, like the other night, just doesn't have it. And the Yankees, once again, struck out a lot. 14 strikeouts. Stanton struck out 4 times, Bellinger twice, Jazz Chisholm twice, Ryan McMahon twice. This is a problem. And the Yankees are top 5 in strikeouts in the majors. I think they're 3rd. They're only behind, I think the Rockies are 1. Take a look at that right now, actually. So, in terms of strikeouts, actually, no, the Rockies are 2nd, the Angels are 1, and then the Yankees are 3rd, and the Orioles are right behind them. Some of the worst teams in baseball, especially the Rockies, and the Yankees are top 5 in strikeouts. They're top 3. Got to cut down on the strikeouts. They have to, especially with the playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks. But yeah, so a no-show from the Yankees there. And then last night, they came out firing on all cylinders. They scored in the first 4 innings. They got up right away. Couple of runs in the first inning. Cody Bellinger an RBI single. Giancarlo Stanton a sac fly. The Twins responded with the run in the bottom of the first, but then the Yankees put up a 4 spot in the top of the second. Austin Wells, an RBI double. Trent Grisham, a 2-run homer, his 31st of the season. Stanton, an RBI single. Yankees are up 6-1. Then they tack on a couple more sac flies in the top of the third to make it 8-1. Then Ben Rice doubles to make it 9-1. And then Anthony Volpe singles to make it 10-1. And you're thinking, all right, Yankees are on cruise control the rest of the way. And how about Anthony Volpe last night? A couple of hits, was on base 3 times. That was his first game action since the cortisone shot. So, we'll take that, I guess, for what it's worth last night. But then Cam Schlittler, who was pitching well, he couldn't get out of the 5th inning. He didn't even finish the 5th inning. He pitched 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks. Again, walks continue to be the problem for the Yankees. Actually, none of the relief pitchers gave up any walks after that. So 5 walks for Cam Schlittler. He gets taken out in the 5th inning. Fernando Cruz came in, got the final out of the 5th inning. Ryan Yarbrough only could get 1 out in his inning of work. Not even an inning. He had to get taken out. He gives up 4 earned runs. But then Mark Leiter Jr. and Devin Williams, they get the job done. 2 2/3 innings. They only give up a hit between both of them. Devin Williams had a couple of strikeouts. David Bednar did give up a solo homer in the 9th inning. That was, I think that was Trevor Larnach. He homered off of him. And the Yankees ended up winning 10-9. So we went from 10-1, cruise control, to nail biter. And I thought the Yankees were going to blow that game. And if they had blown that game, that would have been the worst loss of the season. Easily. Would have been worse than the Marlins loss. Some of the other losses earlier in the season, that would have been the worst loss by far. Surrendering a 10-1 lead and then losing it. But the Yankees didn't. Yankees held on. They picked up a game on the Red Sox. They widened the gap a little bit. So that was very important. But the Blue Jays, once again, don't lose. So they still remained 5 games back of the Blue Jays of the American League East. But they are not... That's too much of a mountain to climb at this point. So Yankees got to focus on the wild card, as we keep saying. But yeah, another good night from Grisham last night. Ben Rice had 3 hits. A couple hits from Stanton. Got to get him going again, because he's been struggling as of late. A couple of hits from Jazz, Volpe, Wells. McMahon had a hit. So, a good night for the Yankees offense after just doing nothing the previous night. But, and you would have thought 10 runs would have been a good enough cushion, and it was. It's just got very close at the end. And that they had to use David Bednar. It's, you don't want to see that. It's not what you want. So, Yankees do pick up the win. You'll take it. 84 wins on the season. So right now, they are actually, so they did widen the gap between the Red Sox, but now because the Red Sox lost, the Astros now are the second wild card team. So if the playoffs were to begin today, it would be the Yankees against the Astros in the wild card series at Yankee Stadium. And I just realized this too. You got the Yankees, the Astros, and the Red Sox. And by the way, the Mariners have won 10 in a row. So that's why the Astros are a wild card team right now. Mariners aren't losing. It's amazing how hot and cold some of these teams get. But you got the Astros and the Red Sox. So you go back to the wild card game era. Yankees obviously won against the Twins, but that is in between a loss to the Astros in 2015, which I was at, my very first playoff game, and then you got the Red Sox, who they lost to in 2021. I was not at that game. I was in my college dorm room watching that. So that worries me a little bit. And even overall, the Yankees have not won a playoff series against the Astros or the Red Sox in a long time. Well, really the Red Sox. The last time Yankees won against the Red Sox was in a playoff series was 2003. The Astros, ever since they came over to the American League, the Yankees haven't beat them. Wild card game, nope. 2017, nope. 2019, nope. 2022, nope. So, yeah, it looks like they might have to play one of these two teams. And at least if it's at home, you have that on your side. Because the Yankees got to go to Fenway, they got to go to Houston. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough either way. But you want to have these games at home. Just so at least you have the crowd to back you in them. But the thing that is a huge concern right now for the Yankees is the bullpen. Bullpen just continues to not look good. And if the Yankees are going to want to go far in the postseason, that has to get figured out. And I love how I said recently, looks like they found the formula. Fernando Cruz, Luke Weaver, David Bednar, there you go. There's the formula. But David Bednar is the only one that's pitching well out of those 3 guys. Fernando Cruz only got an out last night, and then they took him out. Got to get him right. And especially got to get Luke Weaver right. Luke Weaver was so important to the Yankees bullpen last year. When they made the switch from Clay Holmes to Luke Weaver was awesome. Now, look at him. He has struggled. And that's a problem. And what's crazy now is Devin Williams Devin Williams has looked good. So now he's become the pitcher in the circle, the pitcher that's been added to now the circle of trust. Made a lot of switches. He's been in, he's been out, he's been in, he's been out. Well, first he started out, then he was in, then he was out, then he was in. It doesn't end with him. And Katie Sharp tweeted this out last night. Since the day after the trade deadline, the Yankees bullpen has a 5.71 ERA, which is the worst in all of baseball. And this is a team that is usually built on always having a strong bullpen. And it does not have that. It does not have that right now. You have to have that in the postseason. You have to, because there's gonna be close games. There's gonna be plenty of close games. Like even in the World Series last year. Like, yeah, the Dodgers won it in 5 games. But the Dodgers didn't blow the Yankees out. It separated by, pretty much each game was separated by a couple of runs. I mean, in the Game 5, the Yankees took the lead, but the Dodgers got after the Yankees bullpen, and that was it. And that was all she wrote. When the Yankees retook the lead, obviously, not when, they came back from down 5-0. And in their last 8 games, they have an ERA, the Yankees bullpen. It's almost 13, 12.68. And, when you see that, I mean, that's why I'll come to the defense of Boone here. It's, you can't really blame Boone if everybody he puts in can't get it done. Can't blame Boone for that. They got 2 weeks to straighten it out. And then also, I'll just bring this up. So Anthony Volpe back in last night, a couple of hits, was on base 3 times. I feel like we're set up now, potentially, for something similar to what we saw in 2022, where you had IKF starting, then all of a sudden they benched him, they put in Peraza, then they switch and go back to IK. It's just, I feel like we're being set up for that between now Volpe and Caballero. You got to ride the hot hand, and maybe this is a good thing for Volpe. And I've probably mentioned this before, but just the fact now that there's got to be some level of urgency with him now to say I got to play better. I really got to play better because my job is not guaranteed now. My job security is not guaranteed. And I know it was against the Twins, but, took the ball the opposite way for a hit. Again, got a couple hits, was on base, got walked. This could do something for this player. Because Caballero, I mean, he's been good. He's been good. I mean, I know he had, made some mistakes, got picked off trying to steal third the other night. Also was very slow on a double play that scored the first run for the Twins the other night, on the transfer to Jazz. That could have ended the inning. It didn't. And the Twins got a run across because of that. But Caballero's, and, go back to his first game with the Yankees, the ball went through his glove in right field against the Marlins. But other than that, I mean, he's been very good. His numbers with the Yankees are very good, hitting-wise, especially. So, and he's going to be a valuable piece for them next year, coming off the bench. And the versatility that comes along with it, and the base running. So, for Volpe, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he can continue this. We'll see if he's in the lineup tonight. Something to keep an eye on. But, Volpe's still going to have a role on this team. So for anybody that thinks, he's done, when I hear that he has a partially torn labrum, I thought, maybe he is done for the year. Maybe that's on the table. But he's still playing through it. So far, so good after last night. And again, Yankees came close to a collapse, but they didn't collapse. They're continuing to try and cement that top wild card spot. They still got a long way to go. I think their magic number is down to, I think it's either down to 10 or 9. So we still got a long way to go. But this is the soft part of their schedule now. they're going to make the playoffs, barring a huge collapse, which I don't see that happening unless the bullpen really. I mean, the bullpen has been bad, but despite that, the Yankees are still winning games. So, just take the series tonight, and then tomorrow they take on the Orioles for the second to last time this season. So we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think about this series so far. Yeah, didn't record the loss from the other night. Just kind of combined both. But yeah, there's some concerns. The bullpen is a major concern right now. That's a major concern, and just the Yankees striking out. They're striking out way too much. And I don't think they're going to be able to cut it down because this is what they do. They hit a lot of home runs, but they strike out a bunch of times. So, but let me know what you guys think about the series so far, your thoughts. As always, everybody, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Make sure to follow us on the social media platforms in the description below. And wherever you get your podcasts, you can also listen to us as well. Infinite Sports. Just look us up, and you can listen to us on your respective podcast platforms. And as always, everybody, I'm your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, signing off. Have a good one. Talk to you guys next time. Take care.